cup of coffee.
That would be delightful.
2 coffees, please! It'll be a long. Everyone's so busy.
Well, what do you make of it?
What?
War?
I hate war. If we do our jobs right, no one will ever have to fight in another war again.
Then we would be out of work.
I can always get work dancing.
I don't want to go back to working on cars.
Sounds awful. I can teach you to dance.
Or I could repair your car.
We will own electric cars in this fantasy escape device.
What about the battle?
Ah, yes. The battle at hand.
The very one.
Well, we're going to assemble the nukes at dawn. We'll explain the master battle plan and any situational intelligence. Everyone will load their guns and say their useless prayers. Then we'll shoot and explode each other until one side is dead or surrenders. If we're even able to hear a surrender over that god-awful noise of vaporizing ordnance, then we triage, evacuate, and rest.
Sounds really great. I wish I would have written that down.
Should be able to remember that.
You forget that it's all a fight.
Go on.
Well, just the whole thing, you know. It's a constant fight against the whatever. The day-to-day, the ability to breathe, the lingering cancer, the fight to get out, and then there's the fight to come back in, and then the fight against everyone and everything along the way. All the things. Individual versus self, nature, and others. All at once. In one big, fat, cluster-fucking dog pile.
Vivid, Major. Vivid.
What are we doing here?
Well, we're winning, Major. We're doing our call of duty.
Grinding for the grist mill.
Those video games aren't going to sell themselves, Major.
But General, don't those video games cause violence? Oh, General, I love you very deeply, you know. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to embarrass you. I thought you knew.
Oh, I knew, Major.
But,
But
yes?
protocol.
Certainly.
We would be court-martialed.
Of course.
If it isn't us,
Then it's someone less competent and sexy.
surely.
So, here we are, to kill all these poor people for oil.
Freedom.
Our freedom to consume oil.
There we go.
But can't we just run away?
We would be shot. I should shoot you for saying that.
I double dog dare you to shoot me for treason.
You double dog dare me to extrajudicially execute you for treason?
That's what I said, you terrible slut.
Not like that word.
I use it ironically.
Perhaps appropriately? If talking about you, you dirty hussy.
How are your flaming herpes?
How was your prolonged gonorrhea?
It hurts.
With flaming herpes, it's the same.
If only they wouldn't have forced us to share VD with strangers.
No one forced you to have share VD, Major. You did. Oh my gosh, you're right. I forgot entirely about that.
Peeing has become a deadly game.
As is war.
Quick, on the count of 3. Let's both say our our favorite eating ice cream in the rain song.
That's dumb. I'm not going to do that.
Why? Don't you like fun?
Well, you know why.
I suppose I do.
Do you really love me?
Deeply.
How do I know you're not just saying that, trying to joke about something the night before? We're more than likely to get dead from nuclear fire.
Here. Here, look at this.
Aww. Oh, major depression loves general anxiety.
Yes.
Oh, a snappy name for a play. Maybe. Well, what does that mean?
This is what gets me through the day. Writing this down when you're not looking.
It's sweet, but I kind of feel like you should be working.
I hate working.
It's obvious this place is a mess.
Oh, Christ on credit cancellation. I wish there was an intermission.
No intermission.
No, let's just get through the battle plans, lie down on the floor, take off our pants, and then go to sleep, thinking about death.
Why would we take our pots off?
To be comfortable.
It's cold.
Really?
Yeah, I'm cold. Yeah.
Well, okay, then you don't have to take your pants off if you don't want to. That's okay with me.
I don't want to spend my last hours alive porking all over these maps.
That's not what this
It's
is.
not going to happen.
No.
Good. Let's just relax then. Jesus, jumping jeeps. Where's that coffee?
I really feel like it should be here by now.
Yeah. It's like our Godot.
Our what?
Our Godot.
I don't know that word.
Sometimes pronounced Godot.
What is that?
It's in a very famous play.
I don't like theater.
No one does. It's not the point.
So, how is the coffee like a play I don't like?
Well, the entire piece is driven by the waiting for a character that never arrives.
Ooh, sounds boring.
Well, everything can be boring if you're stupid enough.
Your words are like fists.
Your fists are like pudding.
How are we ever going to get out of here?
There's no way out.
Well, maybe we could kill ourselves.
Please, enough of that.
No. I have some pistols.
I have pistols too, but we're commanders in the army.
But do you have any cantaloupes?
I have cantaloupes. If you have the pistols.
Then we are at an impasse.
What must it be like to shoot yourself through the brain to death?
Probably not great.
Could be a lot worse.
Oh, sure. People in the developing world poison themselves with insecticides.
I heard that on NPR.
Oh, fuck you.
I know. I'm that person.
Let's just put a pin in some kind of murder-suicide and talk about dinner.
We're never getting dinner. Look at how long this simple order for coffee is taking!
This is how Rome collapsed. Soldiers stopped bringing their superiors coffee, and then the Vandals and Goths sacked the place. Wasn't even hard.
I wish I could have been alive and rich and beautiful in Rome.
That's a lot of things to be.
Well, life wasn't so great if you're that kind of person. You want to do some time traveling wishes. You kind of want to be really clear about those, right? So get turned into a TV movie.
TV?
Television.
Huh. You amuse me.
Ah, do you remember how we met?
I was sucking dick on the corner for dollars.
I remember those days.
Sucking dick for dollars to launder in candy and soda vending machines.
Thank heavens for the age of the wet nap.
There isn't a wet nap big enough for all that dick, candy, and soda.
I could kiss you right now, straight on those true lips.
Let's run away.
We'd both be shot for treason.
So what? Let them. Better to die than to live through this tight hour and 20-minute farce.
Where is that coffee? Where's that coffee?
Please don't yell. You'll give me anxiety.
You either get, you don't get anxiety. You either have it or you don't.
I can have it and get it.
Hell you can.
I can do anything I want. I'm a major.
Is that the rule now?
I will make it so.
Well, we're all gonna die, aren't we? We're all gonna die.
Well, no one gets out alive.
I mean, soon.
So do I.
Such wanton havoc when we could just as well just send robots to do the job.
But think of the killbots,
Sure.
the digester bots,
Right.
the maid bots,
Yes.
the dusting bots,
Oh, separate from the cleaning bots.
the accounting bots,
Disgusting.
the sex bots, the
Abominations.
porn bots,
Ill.
the spam bots.
I love spam.
Well, oh, no, not the meat, the code.
Oh, no. Yeah, no.
It's all one hot, steaming mess, and I don't want any pilot. Part of it.
And here we are, duty bound to command and lead our people to victory.
And yet, here we are, without any sort of intermission or coffee.
Have you ever thought about running away?
I think I have suggested it, at least several times.
Yeah, right. Well, what about just doing it?
What, running away?
Yeah.
Flight instead of fight.
Bingo.
Yeah, I've thought about it,
And
and we should do it.
just run.
Okay, contract the nearest person and flee.
Can't we just get to your car?
Oh, no, my car sucks.
I guess you're right. How many pistols did you say you had?
Enough.
Well, the problem is we can't get out of here without coffee!
We fall asleep at the wheel.
My blood sugar is shot to hell.
Well then, what are we supposed to do?
Our jobs, I suppose?
At this hour?
I mean, that's why we're getting paid combat pay.
We are?
Yeah,
How much is that?
1% after taxes.
Well, frankly, I can see why the soldiers don't want to die in combat.
Oh, but they do.
What you do?
Yes, I was just talking with a private just today who said he loved his job.
Private who?
Parts. So what's our first phase of attack?
An aggressive social media strike.
What's the angle of that attack?
Hashtag Major Depression loves general anxiety.com.
You know, .com, the hashtag. Don't talk to me down like I'm some boomer fossil.
I'm sorry, Pete. The social media attack is set. Our porn, ad, and spam bots will attack at 00.00.0100 hours.
Do we expect casualties?
Among the bots? Certainly. Operational losses within parameters.
And phase 2?
We leveled the opposition with overlapping waves of airborne, field fire, nuclear see life on Venus, but we're using it to blow something up with it instead.
And then what?
Oh, well, Philip will retaliate, of course.
How?
Well, there's the social media. Then there's always the chance for friendly fire.
Oh, sweet jumping Jesus, Jehoshaphat! What if we hit ourselves with a research probe?
Well, then we'd be liquefied, General. Liquefied at 7 times the speed of sound.
Yikes. Well, I had better brush my teeth.
Do you have any floss?
I don't share a floss.
Because of the flaming curtains.
Oh, because of the lingering gingivitis.
Yuck.
Well, I wish that you could just keep to your own oral health. Thank you.
Eek.
Stop, please.
Eek toughy.
What's that?
I don't know. Swedish, maybe?
Sounds Minnesota.
Can't it be both?
Awful slut.
I do not like that word. I do not like that word.
Why? You slut.
I don't like slut shaming.
Then why are you calling them sluts, you crass whore?
Please, please, just accept the constructive criticism.
What if we're never, ever able to truly achieve our greatest desires?
So what? Isn't that everyone?
Oh, isn't supposed to be. I don't even know what society's doing anymore.
Surviving. We're all just surviving out there, gentlemen.
Until tomorrow.
Oh, let's not be too grim, or dark, or grim-dark.
What's that?
I'm not going to explain it again. Not now. Not like this. Grim-dark. Lol.
Coffee? Coffee boy! Where's your coffee, lad?
Quiet. It's quiet out there. Maybe they've all deserted.
I've just never felt so tired. All these years of nights, days spent awake until dawn, and then awake until dawn again. I've tried cocaine, but it's a boring way to get stuffy compared to the endorphin ride of commanding millions to their death. Millions, Major. Millions. I have murdered with my military might hundreds of thousands with direct impact strikes, and then millions more from all the disease and famine caused by those massive attacks. Think about all those I've killed and how we have done it. And I can't help but wonder if the gods have forgotten about us, or if they are all really dead. Made up mumbo jumbo just to keep us from murdering or raping one another for sport or for clicks. You know, the clicks from the murderers, you see, taxes.
Everything meaningful is funded through taxes.
You might be right.
You know, I'm going to carve something into this table with my knife.
What?
We'll see.
I don't like this table anyhow.
Good then. Keep a lookout for private plate coffee.
I'm just so damn scared.
Yes, yes, me too, old boy.
What is that phrase? Old boy.
It's actually a film.
Oh.
despite your young age, you would have lived the lifespan of many years, and then you would be an old boy.
That's an awful hypothetical.
That's our world. That's what we allow to happen.
But isn't that why we're here?
Oh, no. This isn't going to help or stop any of that.
Well, then what will?
Stop making bullets.
But I like bullets.
Huh. Well, there's our problem.
No, my problem is that I'm so damn scared.
Well, what specifically are you scared of?
Well, everything, you know. Yeah, we've got nuclear weapons trained on us. There's that.
I've always feared dying in a nuclear holocaust.
Yeah, sure. That is really gonna suck.
Or a global pandemic.
Jeez Louise! Oh, man!
I'm so tired.
I'm tired too.
That coffee sure would help.
It sure would.
How do you do it, General?
Well, what's that?
Get out of bed in the morning.
Well, 1 foot at a time.
It's all anyone can ever do.
Did you imagine that the rest of our lives would be like this? Terse, absurdist dialogue in the vein of Beckett and Stoppard, but too long and incredibly boring.
No, I will not allow it.
What can we do to stop it?
We could monologue.
Oh, what?
Well, anything we like. Vaginas. The spring. How difficult it is to find parking downtown.
But why?
Well, you can explore a lot more theme and emotion if you try to build a lattice of ideas instead of just filling pages with back and forth.
But I love back and forth.
If we're going to do it, we should try to title things. Here, I'll start. Living with general anxiety.
I like it!
No interruptions.
Sorry.
My life is a collection of a million lost threads, blowing in the wind. I can see them trailing back to my youth, contacting those around and beyond, begging for help as I tried to carve out a better world using art and science to spread knowledge, love, and peace. But it was not to be. No one returned the call. No one responded to the message. In absence of sociopathic follow-ups, nothing can be done to forward the ultimate plan to fruition. So what then? If you can't make a life living promoting life, well, you can get money killing people in creative and expensive ways. There's a multi-trillion-dollar industry in preparing the apocalypse, and here we are. The eventualities of that failed design. It would have been better not to know any of this, perhaps. Perhaps it would have been better to remain a simple artist, smelling my own farts in the late afternoon and beyond. No uniforms, though. A definitive lack of snappy uniforms. Think of those threads out there, blowing in the wind. Think of that awful professor who refused to return my email regarding the best play ever written up to that point. Consider the contract for the showboat at Parks and Recreation. Wonder at how so very many competent people have largely managed to ignore me entirely for almost their whole lives. I don't understand the human mind, or I do, but I don't know how it's broken. We've been given these minds that allow us to see the past, right? It can take us back to our pasts, and this was probably developed as a survival mechanism initially. Memory. Don't go near that predator. Don't sit in the sun too long. Don't touch that hot stove. These memories protect us from harm by reminding us of the dangers, but at some point, we hijacked the system. We used our memories for non-survival related things. How a warm hand feels in our own. The touch of soft hair. The smell of someone as they hold us close. Perhaps that is survival related as well. Not as a primary function, but as an incentive. But also those memories can kill us. They can trap us. They can break us. A memory can tear you down if you let it. Not realizing that this past doesn't exist. It's so far away that we can never reach it, not in a million years. The only place it exists is as an electric wills and smother our spirits, like an old lady in her bathtub, not thrashing or striking out as one would do, but gently inhaling the warm, perfumed waters, aware that her time is at an end, and that there are far worse means of timecraft extraction. You know, there was one time I considered telling the therapist everything, but it's like jumping out of a plane without a parachute. How to explain the things inside, how to open myself up and show the tarnished pieces of my past, how to expose my innards to the light of day and unpack them like so many vacation clothes? No. Struggle with the demons inside us. That is the way of our people. To stoically desensitize ourselves to the impossibly tragic, to accept that we all end up dead in a box underground someday, or as coarse ash.
You're the boringest person I've ever known.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well,
I feel better after that monologue.
do you think that they'll do it in high school speech competitions?
No, I think it's too specific, too many words, too boring.
You find a lot of stuff boring.
Well, for a long time, we lived in the city. I couldn't see the stars. There's too much light pollution. You could just barely make out a constellation or two. But commissions ended, orders changed, and we moved into the woods and we saw stars again. Stars like the one I remembered from my childhood. And I remember the memories of my childhood with kind of a sort of golden filter. The glitter of age as they fade away all in like a sandcastle in a storm. But the stars had changed since I started looking at them as a child. There were all these satellites, streaks of constant light, maintaining their orbit far above it all. The magic of a falling star. Not even the brief but wondrous light of a lightning bug. Space trash. Space trash broadcasting skinamatics, pay-per-view to the last sad people who own satellite dishes. I remember the first time that I saw a Starlink chain. The sense that I was seeing something simultaneously miraculous and terrifying. A billionaire had purchased the sky and put his space trash in an orderly line. I spoke to friends who screamed at the skies, cried, were deeply disturbed to know that the heavens could be so easily purchased. Oh, there were ideas like internet for all and climate change hardened crops and renewable energy. And these are all great ideas. But they all eventually got corrupted by capitalism and self-interest. The internet for all was an internet for some. And those some were actually a very elite group of a very few. Climate change hardened crops were actually Roundup ready crops that poison you with glyphosate. Renewable energy comes in the form of a 20 megawatt dam that destroys 10,000 acres of rainforest, displacing several indigenous tribes in the process. And this is the world in which we live. And it's made of shit and hair. We are space shit, woven into the dreams of people. And anyone who tells you different is just trying to sell you something. But yes, I do find things boring. But not you. Well, except in context.
You're my special friend.
I love you deeply, wonder, how much sorrow and fear can a person feel? Is it infinite? Can a person be frightened and sad forever and never actually die from it?
Well, a person can live with anything as long as they don't die from it.
You are a font of wisdom and grace.
You are a paragon of virtue and excellence.
I wish we had the time to go on vacation together. Wouldn't that be fun? Yeah, we'd go like to the lake, and we would fish and jet ski and BBQ and get pleasantly drunk by the fire, sleeping as we breathe in the clear night air.
And then we could go to my place in the city and do LSD laser tag.
We have such fun ideas.
I have so much vacation time.
I'm too afraid to take time off. I'm afraid the wheels are just going to fall off the bus.
I don't take time off because they make it too hard to ask.
It's designed that way.
Can I ask you something?
Of course.
Do you think they're ever going to bring that coffee?
It's more than likely that the whole brigade deserted to do something entertaining before lunch.
It's no way to fight a war.
If you could fight in any battle knowing that you would survive, which would it be?
Hiroshima. You?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait. Everyone did survive Hiroshima.
No, I mean for Japan. I would fight for Japan and survive.
And how are you going to accomplish that?
Well, it's fantasy, so I'm going with a giant robot.
So, if you can fight in any battle knowing that you need somebody going to fight in Hiroshima for Japan with a giant robot?
Yes.
You got to briefly describe that.
Well, the key is to intercept before deployment. So, I would likely transform into jet mode if the giant robot is capable of that and close distance. The crew of the Enola Gay would, of course, not be prepared for this, and they would yell things at one another, surprise. Then, if I was a giant robot, if I was a jet-capable robot, I would transform back into robot mode at the last possible moment and pull out a close combat weapon. And while we're here, let's make it a laser sword. Then I would say something about warfare, hopefully profound, and I would slice the craft cleanly in two. Fat man would roll out, or was it little boy? And I would fastball it right into the sun, right into the motherfucking sun. Excuse you. Thank you. The girl of the Enola Gay would survive and bail out, and I would land and explain to them that nuclear war was not only a war crime, but the growing nexus of an intergenerational and epigenetic trauma. Tibbets would take off his flight cap and apologize to the mayor before Toshitoshi would swiftly decapitate him with one brilliant Iago stroke. The lone victim of the event. The crew would mourn the loss, but accept it as necessary to prevent further insanity. Then, I don't know, theme music, kiss the dolphin, credits. You?
Oh, wait. There's a lot to unpack there.
Let's not! You go. You don't ask a question like that without having a well-thought-out answer. If you could fight in any battle, knowing that you would survive.
It would be this one.
Big laugh.
Yeah.
For reals, though.
Well, I would fight at Gethsemane and save Jesus Christ.
I don't think I would call that a battle.
Well, there were two swords, and someone got their ear cut off.
And what would you do with Jesus?
game theory to be had if you got your hands on God's kid.
Quiet, they'll hear you.
Oh, guess there's always a time for firsts.
How much time do we have?
Not long now. Everyone gets up so early.
If you could be any Power Ranger at all, which one would you be?
I don't know who they are.
Just say a color.
Taupe.
The Dope Ranger, of course.
Yeah, I'm so tired.
I'm tired too.
I feel like I could sleep for a week.
I feel like I could sleep for 6.
Let's not make this a competition.
Do you remember COVID?
What do you mean? Of course I remember COVID.
It's unique that for the next 100 years, most of the planet will remember. Then they will forget, and it'll all happen again.
Hope not. I got COVID.
Oh, yes?
Yes, it was awful. Couldn't taste anything for a month. Nothing fun about drowning in your own fluids.
It was such an opportunity to come together and fight a common enemy, to reconfigure our defense structures and provide safety and comfort instead of shock and awe, for us to finally begin that process of turning swords into plowshares. But
We totally shit the bed.
all over it.
Field of uneven brown and even darker brown.
I remember being so angry, scared, and tired all the time. Contained, helpless, only able to access the world through screens. I came to hate screens that year, resent them forever. I remember growing to hate words, seeing the world through words that made me angry and fearful and sad. I kept thinking, we spent a few $1 trillion by killing poor people on 2 continents based on the idea that you could develop biological weapons inside a mobile storage container trailer. But we actually didn't spend a dime of that money preparing for a global pandemic. Biological weapon or biological anomaly, we were in no way prepared. We spent that money on hover jets and laser weapons, railgun and voice to skull. Jesus Christ on crackers, what the fuck are we doing here?
Our jobs? We're here to do our job.
But I don't know why anymore. I don't know why we should be doing any of this. Why finish the mission? Why complete the novel that no one is going to read? Why write the play that no one is going to come to? What is the function of these meaningless masturbations? If we are to masturbate, let it be quietly and alone, wasting as little time and energy as possible. This rampant nonsense will never do. It is but farting into the greater maelstrom, breathing death upon the land and the sea. How much longer? Until the coffee.
It will never come.
Because there is no one outside.
No one alive. Someone has to be observed to be alive.
I observe you in all your awful glory.
Sounds major. God's hooks. But what are we doing here indeed? I hate to agree with you.
I hate your awful face.
Hate your stinky guts.
I hate your broken teeth.
I hate your smelly feet.
I hate your tiny dick.
I hate your flapping anus.
I hate your aching mangina.
I hate your herpes lips.
I hate your zitty nose.
I hate your chapped hands.
I hate your fat gut.
You already said gut.
I said guts, not your fat belly. Fat gut, belly, fatty fat.
I hate your stupid words.
I hate your waxy ears.
I hate your swampy breath.
I hate your chainsaw snore.
I hate your constant whining.
I hate the way you burn the toast.
I hate the way you brew the coffee.
I hate the way you clean your belly button and eat it.
I hate the way you talk about politics all the time.
I hate the way you hate.
I hate the way you hate my hate.
I hate the way you hate the hate. You should so obviously hate?
I hate your job.
I hate it too.
So why don't you quit?
Well, you shoot me for treason in the face of the enemy.
Well, you'll shoot me in the face for the same one.
No, let's not do this. Let's not murder-suicide again.
The fuck do you mean, again?
Oh, I hate it when you swear.
I hate it when you complain about my swearing!
I hate it when you yell.
I hate when you can't hear me.
I hate that we have to die.
I hate that we have to kill.
I hate that I can't eat pie for every meal.
I hate that you can't go to the movies anymore.
Because of the cost.
No, because the industry is in free fall.
I hate meta-analysis.
I hate the term meta.
I hate it too.
I hate that no one reads anymore.
I hate that you still read.
I hate that no one makes anything of lasting value.
Like what?
Oh, whatever. Pottery, lamps, novels, plays.
Sure.
I don't want to destroy the entire world anymore.
I wish we could stop.
Think of the alternative.
Oh, chaos. Utter chaos.
If we weren't here to order tactical nuclear strikes that will cripple the Chinese ability to produce tennis shoes, well, then what would we be doing?
Well, what would you like to be doing?
Nothing, honestly. I fucking hate tennis shoes.
Well, that's probably why they gave you the mission.
Probably why I volunteered us, you mean?
I guess I do.
I only want to fire those nuclear weapons once, and then never again. But if we were to do so again, how long would it take us to reload?
1 hour.
Tight.
As a drum.
It's awful being so good at our jobs.
You know what I was thinking about the other day?
Oh, probably.
Well, I'm gonna tell you anyways. There's this scientist, right? And he believes that all of Earth is just one giant organism.
You already told me this already. It's super boring!
Shut up and let me finish.
Oh, gosh. No, you shut up. I don't want to hear it.
But this scientist, okay? Maybe what he doesn't understand is that we all have to become like the most powerful creatures on Earth. In order to protect us from the aliens or whatever. Like if ETs land someday and we show up a nuke, then like we're like the T cells of the planet's immune system, right? I mean, who else is going to nuke the ETs? Whales? No. Deer? Do you think deer are going to get their shit together in time to nuke the ETs? No. And don't even get me started on the extra dimensionals.
Are you on drugs?
Let me be completely honest with you. Just this once. In the early 1970s, I participated in some of the MK Ultra 2.0 trials and probably shouldn't have done that much LSD. It sometimes does negative things. Like I once heard crickets for like 3 years. Sometimes music, like it slows down, but it's actually just my perception of time. And other times, I can see the fabric of reality as a vibrant tapestry of interwoven eventualities.
I think you should consider therapy.
Well, I think we all should.
I hope that's the message that people take away from all of this.
What people?
Whoever reads this ends up reading this bullshit transcript.
Oh, like the pilots saying goodbye to their loved ones on the black box.
Exactly like that.
Have you ever listened to those recordings?
I have listened to all of those recordings.
Wow. That sounds almost impossible.
Well, I did it.
Did you know that there was a man who reviewed all available footage of people leaping off the towers on 9/11 looking for his wife? And eventually he did.
I don't need to hear that shit.
Well, what would you like to talk about?
Well, nice things? Can't we talk about nice things for once?
Sure. I saw a puppy licking a butterfly on the way to work. Really made my day. Took a picture of it with my phone and everything.
For reals?
No, you moron. how you can't stand a fair fight.
I hate how long it takes to get coffee at this place.
Oh, I hate plays with no meaning.
I hate novels with no structure.
Oh, then you hate making lunch.
I hate being naked.
Always?
Always.
Did I just hear a rooster?
No, that's impossible. We have the roosters gassed
What? To death?
with nitrous.
Wait, we have nitrous gas.
Yes.
We could have been suiciding this whole time?
I mean, we have guns.
Messy. Messy, messy, messy. I don't want my granny to have to think about that.
Your granny's alive?
Yeah, I call her every night. Oh, fuck!
You forgot to call your grandma?
Oh, no, I forgot that it's tax day.
Tax day?
Oh, yeah.
I forgot too!
Oh, how do you file?
Oh, well, I have a guy I've used for years. Well, maybe he has everything we need.
Oh, you'd think we would have remembered.
Yeah. Hey, maybe that's what they're gonna call this.
What?
Well, I mean, today, this.
Oh, you mean the tennis shoe holocaust?
Oh, but that's good. That's good. That's good. I was thinking Tax Day Massacre.
Wow, two really great holidays.
Who do you think will play us in the movie?
But didn't you say that Hollywood was in free fall about 3 pages back?
Did I?
Huh, maybe it was just a soft stroke.
Tax Day. Shit.
You think the global nuclear war will render tax filing moot?
Well, I guess that's one positive, I guess.
You know, it's nice that we have this time. To work things through. Before the screaming and the radiation hits.
But why do we have to develop thermonuclear weapons, anyhow?
Japan.
Well, I don't know if we can pin that all on them, but I'll allow it for the sake of argument.
I don't want to die.
I don't want to live.
I don't want to live without you.